Stabilizing global temperature at the scale required by the Paris Agreement is not only a question of emissions, it is a question of physics, geography, and energy flow. SnowPanel approaches climate restoration as an integrated polar infrastructure system. At its core is Cryo Glacier Hydro, a coupled process that converts seawater into long-term ice storage while generating continuous clean power. Under illustrative first principles assumptions, achieving and sustaining -1.0 to -1.5 degrees Celsius of global cooling would require persistent cryosphere restoration at extreme scale. In physical terms, this implies sustained freezing of roughly 10,000 to 27,000 gigatons of water per year, maintained for decades in environments where ice can persist. At that scale, latent heat removal and ice albedo feedbacks together correspond to an effective negative radiative forcing of approximately 0.3 to 0.8 watts per square meter, a substantial fraction of today's anthropogenic forcing. The only regions capable of supporting such processes are the polar zones themselves, where cold air, low solar angles, and seasonal ice persistence already dominate Earth's energy balance. Locations such as Greenland's coastal basins, the Canadian high Arctic archipelago, Fox Basin in Nunavut, Alaska's Gulf-fed fjords, Svalbard, and Antarctic coastal margins provide direct access to cold oceans and stable sub-zero conditions. In SnowPanel systems, seawater is drawn from adjacent polar seas and piped inland, up and over terrain, into engineered basins. These basins function like controlled inland lakes, bounded by dam-like structures that limit outflow and insulate forming ice from ocean heat. Water introduced at the surface freezes downward, while snowfall and mist freezing build ice upward, forming a managed cryoglacier. As water moves through elevation changes, the system also generates hydropower. Over several kilometers of controlled head and flow, Cryoglacier Hydro can produce steady electricity, sufficient to power pumps, monitoring systems, research facilities, and nearby polar communities. Freezing and power generation reinforce one another, turning gravity and cold into continuous energy. Over time, the mass involved becomes immense. Sustained freezing at this level would accumulate 100,000 to 270,000 gigatons within a decade, 500,000 to 1.3 million gigatons over 50 years, and 1 to 2.7 million gigatons over a century, before accounting for losses from melt, calving, or ocean heat transport. As described in the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change Assessments, the Earth system responds non-linearly. Cooling slows as a new energy balance is approached. This is not weather modification. This is not geoengineering. It is climate restorative infrastructure built from known physics, freezing, reflection, gravity, and energy flow. SnowPanel Cryo Glacier Hydro. Science, technology you can build today.